Bud Light, this is nothing personal, but you fell off. Okay, you haven't been gone that long, but you completely and totally fell right off. Bud Light risks losing number one status. This is over the year. They've already fell behind in the beer that was squarely, firmly in second place at the beginning of the year, and now all of a sudden you opened up those 18 inches of daylight and they're acting like Gale Sayers. That's all they needed to take over the number one spot. Bud Light sales suffered their worst week ever, falling 25.7%, endangering its status as the world's number one beer brand, according to the latest data provided to the Post on Tuesday. The plunge follows a 24.6% decline from the previous week and the sixth straight sales week that has hit following the partnership with everyone's favorite, as he likes to put in his bios, your favorite gal pal, Dylan Mulvaney. The precipitous drop has narrowed the gap in sales between Bud Light and nearest rival Modelo Especial, which saw its sales surge 9.2% the week ending May 20th, according to Bump Williams Consulting and Nielsen IQ data. While Bud Light loses week after week, Modelo Especial gains week after week, and now Modelo outsells Bud Light on a national basis across all trade channels combined. So regardless of what statistics you want to look at, Bud Light, you done, buddy. You done goofed big time. Number two is where you're going, and number two is probably the path that you do in fact like to take. That's why you hired Dylan to sponsor with you. If this continues, Modelo will surpass Bud Light for the year. They already got a month on you, and they were so far behind in second place. Like, it wasn't even close, but just like the southern border, we have been invaded by a foreigner, but this time it's totally and completely justified. But as much as we could have an incredibly justified laugh at the continued failings of Bud Light, they have mostly just completely stayed quiet after the statement from the CEO of InBev. I'm forgetting his name, Michael, I don't know, the foreigner's name. Him saying that, oh, it's all about the misinformation. One can, one post, shut up, you guys just buy the beer. And everybody's, yeah, no, we'll buy beer, not yours. And he's like, God damn it, I thought I could have got you this time around. But what about the people in charge? The ones who made the decisions that ultimately led to the brand dying on the vine. Alissa Heinerscheid, well, she popped in recently and she decided to drop some spicy takes. Bud Light marketing VP Alissa Heinerscheid, I can't really comment on my absolute abysmal failure with which, if this was actually a fair, open, and honest place where people would be punished for their failings, she would never work in this goddamn town again. But let's be completely honest, she'll be back in some form or fashion somewhere because it's a nepotitious playground and it's a small club and you ain't in it. Bud Light marketing executive associated with the company's disastrous Dylan Mulvaney partnership is not supposed to talk about the ordeal, according to a pal she was seen walking with in New York City. Yeah, because, okay, officially, she's still on a leave of absence, paid or not, more than likely paid to be completely honest. Her and her boss, I think his name was Daniel Blake because it was two first names, and I don't trust anybody who has two first names. But it was also an indefinite leave of absence, so think of that whatever you will. Alissa Heinerscheid, 39, refused to speak when approached by the Daily Mail for comment on the controversial marketing deal with the transgender influencer, before her friend cut in to explain that she couldn't discuss the topic. She's not supposed to talk about it, she can't, the friend said before they moved on. Heinerscheid took a leave of absence from Bud Light. It wasn't so much that she took a leave of absence as Bud Light's like, listen, get the fuck out, clean your shit and get the fuck out, okay? You can come back once the smoke's gone. And guess what? They weren't anticipating that it goes this long, but you fucked up real good, so congratulations. Enjoy your vacation for the summer. As the brand begin hemorrhaging billions of dollars, what's the total at right now? It remains unclear whether Heinerscheid has since returned to work or remains on leave. Well, we haven't seen anything moving at Bud Light recently, and there's another guy who got put in charge over top of her, and is the first woman to ever oversee beer in its history, even though women, as we learned from Miller Lite, were among the first to have ever brewed. Women finally got their chance, and oh boy, did they do what women do best. Completely fuck it all up. I'm joking, sort of. Just days before Mulvaney published her videos, Heinerscheid gave an interview in which she described her efforts to move Bud Light away from the fratty and out-of-touch image and attract new customers with a more inclusive approach. At that point in time when she was saying those standard brain-dead SJW talking points, Bud Light was firmly the #1 best-selling beer in the United States. Okay, it had a tinge of homosexuality associated with it because light beer has carried that for as long as I can recall. And yes, if you don't evolve, you're left behind, so understanding that there's an ever-evolving consumer base that's out there, yeah, thinking a couple of steps ahead makes total sense, but little did she know that her decision that, hey guys, I got a great idea, you know what, normally beer is sold with tits and sports and footballs and baseballs, yeah, we can learn a lot from that, especially from the last thing. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go with balls and girls, sort of. Kind of hear me out on that one. And then just a few, 6-7 weeks later, she's ducking interviews on the street like a keyboard warrior when the ops decide to spin the block. It's hilarious. Bud Light later blamed the partnership on a third-party ad agency. Yeah, of course, just blame the little guys whenever something goes wrong. It's like whenever something goes sideways at the White House. It was just the policy. It wasn't Joe Biden. See, he fell. He can't be expected to stay upright all the time. There's always that layer of defense. But this time around, yeah, go ahead and try to outsource all of the blame. Shit's not working. Heinerscheid's boss, Daniel Blake, got it right, was also placed on leave in the midst of the debacle. It remains unclear exactly how involved the pair were in the Mulvaney partnership. Apparently, quite, because the higher-ups had no idea, but them specifically, and given the excerpts from that interview of Heinerscheid, I think we knew, or at least know, who knew about the partnership, as opposed to everybody else who was left scrambling and flat-footed to come out with really stupid responses in the aftermath. Mulvaney video sparked a nationwide boycott of Bud Light and other Anheuser Busch brands. And it is in fact ruining the game for Bud Light because check this out, the brand is totally toxic. There's so much to learn from this one, even though we also know the sales of the but more on that in a second. Tennessee Festival's Bud Light stage renamed after trans controversy. I don't know, is this a country music festival or something like that? But if it is, that totally makes sense. The distributor of Bud Light in Chattanooga, Tennessee, requested that a local venue called the Bud Light Stage be renamed the Ultra Stage. That's probably not too bad. There's also another music festival, different type of music. If this is country music, it's Chattanooga, Tennessee. You can kind of put two and two together, and then Bud Light's partnership, okay, or at least temporarily. It's still an Anheuser Busch partnership, and we also know that Michelob Ultra has seen its sales decline, not at the same rapid rate of Bud Light. So it's just a slight movement. They got a similar color scheme, right? Like we can make that change real quick. The upcoming June 2nd through 4th Riverbend Festival has used the Bud Light stage as its secondary stage for around 4 decades. Okay, so just making an immediate switch like that is all of a sudden just going to make people forget. It's like, I don't know, man. If you're going to be going to this Riverbend Festival, has been around for 4 decades. You could call it the Bud Light stage and nobody would really care other than, you know, maybe the performers on there might get heckled. About 15,000 people attend the music festival each year. Yo, it's a pretty big one, I guess. But this year, the term Bud Light has become a toxic joke. This occurred last month after Anheuser Busch. We already went through all that stuff. The new name, the Ultra Stage, well, to be fair, that sounds really cool, is still in the Anheuser Busch family. I haven't heard that one yet. That's not bad. Okay. But named after Anheuser Busch's Michelob Ultra. Yes. The festival claims the requested name change came long before the Dylan Mulvaney debacle. I'm sure. But that is a little hard to believe. So anyway, here's the story. Michelob Ultra is the most requested beer among our guests. I'm sure. Festival director Mickey McCamish told the Chattanooga Times-Free Press, "We are pleased that the sponsor is providing the stage to us, and of course, when they requested that the stage be renamed the Ultra Stage, we readily agreed." In a text, McCamish claimed that the change request was made last year. Okay. According to the latest numbers, the anger of Bud Light for partnering with the fetishist is only getting worse. During the week ending, May 20th, sales collapsed 29.5% compared to the same week the previous year. So yeah, it's hard out here for a beer. They cannot catch a break. Mostly, actually, completely. This is all self-inflicted. They could have mitigated losses, guys. It would have been very, very easy. We're sorry. We're sorry. We fucked up. We'll do a make good on this one, okay? We'll properly vet our sponsors going forward, and this is not a betrayal of our base. If they would have just been honest with everybody instead of trying to blame everything and everyone around the situation, misinformation, disinformation, you actually don't know what you're talking about. And oh yeah, if you boycott us, we got people that work for us, so you're basically like terrorists holding people's jobs hostage. So just buy our product or you're worse than Hitler. If you would have just been open and honest about things, people would have totally forgotten about it at this point in time. But no, you just decided to continue to find different and unique ways to make it worse every single day. Even with the Target boycott, probably more costly in the long term, trying to overshadow it, you guys find new and interesting ways to continue to perpetuate this news and this story for 7 weeks at this point in time. I'm not getting sick of it because it's absolutely hilarious. And yeah, we got the big gay month of kicking off today. It's the first day. We know all about the pride parades. We know all about the music festivals. We know all about the $200,000 donated to the gay charities. Oh, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. And especially, hey, the first weekend coming up. I can't wait. I can't wait. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.